Hey, it's Mega Dex. We're going to be going through some Skull Merchant games, and I'm also going to just rant a bit about what I think about her nerf and what I think about the balance of the game and what's going on, and maybe some theories. So if you enjoy the game, please like and subscribe, and we're going to get right into what I think. So, Skull Merchant's getting a pretty harsh nerf for what this killer is. Some people absolutely hate her, and other people enjoy her, and other people are like, it's so so. But a lot of what's wrong, at least from the community standpoint, before I get into how I feel about it, is that some survivors will just give up before the match goes. And I think it's guilty by association, because people used to be held hostage at 3 gens, and I think people who are in that situation only really remember that. And they're just like, well, fuck, I'm not gonna do this ever again. It was an hour. Even if I got banned for a certain amount of time, it will feel shorter in my head than when I was stuck in that match. At least that's how I feel it has been coming across. Some people are unreasonable. Some people are like, I don't know, people do it, I'm gonna jump out the game. You guys suck ass across the board. But the way she got gutted, they should have actually done a rework. Maybe changed her power, did something like they did to Doctor, where the power doesn't work the same anymore, but they added different things, so that way it's still a killer. Because the thing people tend to forget when they do things like this and completely get rid of someone is someone bought this character. Whether it was at the launch or later on, someone paid money to play as this killer, and now it's just no longer available. And you're probably like, well, it was making it unfun for me. I was like, well, they were having fun playing her, at least. I mean, they paid for it. And you're playing a game where they're going to be adding all kinds of killers. Who's going to be the next Skull Merchant and the next most hated killer? And they're just going to go and get rid of them, essentially, because you weren't having as much fun as some of the other players. And a lot of people who didn't enjoy playing Skull Merchant, it was because of the people who were jumping out of the games and weren't even giving it a chance to see if, oh, is this guy being the most sweat lord in the world, or are they actually just playing like a tracking stealth one? There's like some people who play certain styles of Skull Merchant that are pretty cool. Not everyone was 3-genning. And also they nerfed it away from being able to even be able to do that as effectively as it used to be. So I think it's kind of wild people were getting pissed that Skull Merchant was just the worst thing in the world, while I find other killers to be way scarier than her, and most people find her to be like barely mid-tier, because you can still get past her. She's not impossible. I'm gonna be honest, if you're fairly good at looping and being observant, she's not going to win the match. I've easily lost rounds with her where I was unable to get to anyone through their loops. It didn't matter what I did, doesn't matter how many times I redeployed and stuff. The team knew how to play against her, but most people don't learn to counter her. So I think that's also another issue, is that people just generally don't get how to counter Skull Merchant because it's easier to disconnect. Well, the same thing kind of applies to every killer. So if you're just not good against another killer, are you just going to disconnect? Because that's lame. Alright, moving on from that point. Community just overall doesn't like her. I think she was in a pretty balanced spot, to be honest. I think she was just a character that made the players think more than not. But now she has not even half of what her power is. I'd say she is 1/8 of the killer she currently is, and I think this PTB went really hard on her. And there's a couple reasons I think they may have done this. The first reason that everyone's been screaming is that, well, the whole community's been yelling at them and they just want them to shut up until they can actually fix her. I don't think that's what it is, but a lot of people tend to push towards that. I think it's that a lot of asymmetrical games are coming out and trying to keep themselves alive, and those are people that behavior otherwise would be competing against. And because the fan base of Dead by Daylight is mostly survivors, and it's 1 in every 5 of them is playing as a killer, pretty much, like main wise, they are going to conform to whatever the majority is. And since the majority is survivors, we are the killers are getting nerfed to make sure the survivors stay until all these other asymmetrical games kind of die down. I heard some other people kind of talking about this. Also, I believe Quiet Kills shares the same kind of theory, but I do feel that they are going to keep on pushing the killer nerfs until the Dead by Daylight community is safe and secure from being stolen away from some other asymmetrical game. I am also going to put in a small caveat and a segue into something else. The game Killer Clowns actually looks like it's going downhill pretty quickly, so maybe behavior will let up a little sooner than I thought they were going to. I initially thought the game was going to be pretty successful because the hype was pretty high, but it looks like they fell a little bit short. Behavior, please stop nerfing these people to the ground. I'm trying to keep playing your game. Anyways, another thing that I think is fucking crazy is that they're speeding up the gens. They can last longer on hooks from the last patch, and now they are going to be able to blast through gens even faster. Like, how the hell are we going to compete when they're taking away the only killers that are fast enough or have the slowdown to stop people from doing crazy shit like that? I think it's absolutely insane right now. It's going to be real challenging to get through these next couple of matches. Or not matches, but these next updates are going to be rough. And the Cenobite and Plague are in danger next, it appears. If they're still on the same warpath they are right now, we are completely fucked once they take those other two. And you're probably thinking, well, you still got Nurse. No one likes playing Nurse. I'm gonna put it out there. There's like a couple Nurse mains. Those people are their brains are crazy. They decided they want to do the hardest thing possible, and it's just going to be challenging for anyone who wants to play the game in a normal manner. Only the sweatiest of lords are going to have fun, and that's what I was saying earlier, is that people are going to really start thriving if they sweat hard for the game. And then if not, there isn't going to be much of any other killer mains. And I don't know what that's going to do to the game itself, because you're going to see all of courtesy go away. That killer that carries you to the hatch, I don't think you're going to see that much anymore. I think they're going to be like, nah, I earned everything. I had to defeat the odds every time, so I'm going to crush them. At least that's how I see it. If you have these players that have committed to winning the match against impossible odds, they're not going to think you've earned a hatch. They're not going to think you've earned anything. So that's how I see it. I see Survivor's going to become a lot more fun to play, and then no one's going to play killer, and the queue lines are going to go back up to like 15 minutes again, because no one's going to really be jumping into the game like they were, because you don't have any casual killers. Now another thing I want to talk about is that behavior keeps saying, I want to see people use a more diverse skill set thing. I want the perks to be different on killer. Why would a killer ever change in perks if there's only 10 good perks for them? Everything else is too slow. Everything else, those gens are going to be gone long before they get any value. Even some of the really good perks, you're only going to get to proc a couple of times, and it's very niche in a specific situation. Like, people were using machine learning for a little while. Like, it had a little bit of a hype train. But the thing is, you get it off maybe once, 3 times in a match. And while that was going off, it was cool, but, like, not working very well for us. Like, you can't really win that many matches. We would handpick and curate which matches we're going to show to somebody if we did record it, just because of how niche the perks situation would be. And a lot of the perks are like that, or it's like really not useful at all. They did go and buff like crowd control, and that perk's gonna be pretty nice for some people, but again, it's one of those perks that you can get rid of. You can go and get rid of crowd control. If they don't like what's happening, they can just go and get rid of probably one of the better perks you're gonna have. I don't know what we're really going to do after these posts come out, and whether people are still going to be playing in this kind of casual form that I have been finding it to be. Some people are like, I run into Sweat Lords all the time. I was like, well, same thing with sweaty 4-man groups, but it's not everyone. But with how the game's being treated right now, I would not be surprised if it led to, like, only 4-man groups being able to win because there's only the sweatiest of players playing anymore on the killer side. That's my main concern. I'll be enjoying these other killers after Skull Merchant gets nerfed to the ground and hope that they're not completely decimated later on. Another killer I feel is pretty strong right now is Dracula, and since he's the newest killer, they might wait a little bit before they ice him, so I feel like I can have some fun with him. Fortunately for us, Doctor hasn't been completely destroyed, and I really enjoy playing that character too. So I got 2 other characters I can enjoy in the game, but I am just kind of sad overall for how Behavior is dealing with the current situation of what's going on. I don't really know what their goal is anymore, unless it is just to keep their game alive during this little vendetta of asymmetrical games. Or I guess for them it's like an apocalypse of asymmetrical games coming their way, and they're kind of afraid that their fan base will die down. Especially since I believe Friday the 13th said they're going to be coming out with another game, and if it's also asymmetrical like the last one, are they afraid that they're actually going to come in much harder than their first one and like learn from their mistakes and this time make a long-lasting game? Is that something they could possibly be fearing? Because that game initially was pretty cool. There was like some issues with it and glitches, but like so is every game. It's not like Behavior doesn't have a billion glitches in the game to deal with. But that's just where we're sitting right now in terms of balance. I do think it's crazy that they even changed her power to the point where you don't even get the two lights on her ability anymore. They changed it to just one, and now it doesn't do anything. The thing is pretty much, it's just a little beacon that'll tell you where they are occasionally. You don't get the haste anymore. I think they took away the hindered. So essentially all it does is injure people and give you locations, and that's it. And at half the speed because you don't even have the light thing anymore. I think that's horrible. Anyways, I think they could still fix this. I think maybe PTB ends, they realize this was completely fucking ludicrous and decide we're not going to nerf it so horribly that there's no point in playing it anymore. I think there's still hope for that. But to be honest, I know this is Behavior and that's kind of a long shot. Things that they could do in the future to make this better overall is first rework her power to something that's more enjoyable for the players, because now no one's even going to want to play this character. And I saw all those videos pop up in the PTB and they're like, she's not horrible. Yeah, she is. I don't know what they're smoking, but fuck, this is bad. No one's gonna want to do this. It's like they're gonna just switch the perks to try to make her a little bit more bearable. Some people are gonna still play her because they already probably got her to rep 46 or 100, and they're like, "Oh, this is my fucking baby. I can't let it drown." And I'm sorry, but they fucking killed the kid. This child is done for. They're dunzos. There's no way. With the current state of the PTB, if it is accurate to what they are going to drop for this character, there's no way. There's no way she's going to be bearable to play unless you're playing her for the memory of what she used to be. It's going to be how everyone felt when Billy got nerfed, and you're like, he did not deserve this, and it took them like a year to fix it. So your favorite killer could possibly be out of the game for a year, and I'm sorry if that's the case. It took a real long time to get that Twins update. I don't know how long it's going to take before we get a Skull Merchant update to make her bearable, but it's probably going to be a while because right now her current sentence is to be dead as a killer and probably won't be seen for quite some time. People say people are still going to drop out of the game when Skull Merchant is like in a match. I don't think so anymore, because I think she's going to be so trash that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. People are just going to be like, oh, we can just rush chance. This killer does not exist. It's essentially Trapper without the traps. It's not going to make much happen unless you're quiet kills, but that's a fucking exception. All right. I know I've mentioned that dude like a couple of times. He's just funny. Yeah, so this is how I kind of feel about the state of Dead by Daylight and where their nerfs are right now. I don't understand why they would make it the way it is. I was having some fun with the game, and then I kind of see where they're leaning right now, and it makes it real hard to keep pushing, especially when like most players are like at a buzzer beater win a lot of the time. Most people are not killing 5K'ing at 5 gens. And now a lot of, like 90% of your fan base that is killers, they're not going to be making much of any wins anymore. You know how they're like at a kill rate of like maybe 60%? With this buff that's coming to generators, I feel like win rates are going to be relative to 40% now. Because that affects like everything. Because the thing is that it's more of a multiplicative thing that's happening. Because it's not just off of... It's like people are looking at it as like, well, it'll take them 10% like faster. It's like, yeah, all of the gens are 10% faster. That's crazy. You know, it's a crazy perk is when you go into the basement is Sable and do the little incantation thing. That cuts off 1% of all of the gens. They're essentially doing that for free for all of them with these perks that are coming, or not with the perks that are coming out, but with the buff that's coming to gen progression. Not to mention, they are getting some pretty gnarly perks. If you want to go and check those out, they are getting some pretty nice perk buffs too. I just don't understand why they can't do this for both sides. If you're going to go and give them gen progression, give them faster hook progression then. Like, how are you going to go and give them everything and then the killers get nothing out of it? Actually kind of annoyed. Alright, that's all I really have to rant about. Please enjoy the rest of the match. This is just me playing Skull Merchant before she's completely gutted before us when the PTP goes live. Oh, okay, we got a location over here. Hello, friends. Oh, blinding me, are we? Gonna get you here. Quick swatting. There we go. Got that haste boost. Feels nice. Makes it semi-bearable. Oh, come back, come back. Let's go around this way. You get her? Ah, just short. It's okay, though. Ooh, alright. Got her down there. Let's go pick you up. We'll be dragging you off to a hook. Alright. Let's go and put you up here. There we are, friends. Let's go this way. Hello? Oh, okay, we got someone in that direction. Just disappeared, but we'll get him. Hey. Oh, no, I just got you. I guess this is what's happening. Why you have to be slow? You should have ran faster than your friend. Let's get her to go around here and maybe I can get her hindered and then win the chase that way. Yeah, there we go. But, I'm slow. Shit. Okay. Bloodlust kicked in. Pop. There we go. That's why we got it. Alright. Up you go. Look down. Ah! Fuck. She dropped a firecracker or whatever the fuck. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you. You are kind of crazy. Okay. Blind? Do we run after them? Do we run after them? No, I don't. She's gone. She is gone with the wind. Okay. That's not gonna work twice, though. Even though, well, 3 times. It's not gonna work 3 times. Hello. Where are you going? You kind of ran past a couple of vault locations. I would have taken those. I would have given you a little bit of distance. Alright. Up you go. Me bringing you to my favorite place, the hook. And here we are. Anyone? Oh, okay. We got some people over here. Let's go up and over. Let's see. Anyone? You want the smoke? Yeah, you do. Pop! And we will take you elsewhere. And you will meet your maker. Actually, not quite. You're almost there. You're well on your way. Oh, someone went and saved him? Coming back. I wasn't even that far. I wasn't even that far. They came back pretty quickly for that save. Hello? Hello? Oh, you're just healing it. What menaces? Oh, okay. I got him immediately because my Devourer is going off. That's great. Up you go. Let's see if they'll do the same shit again. I feel like if I walk away just a little bit, right, they'll come back and do the save. And then I can go and get a, ooh, they did it. Okay, I wasn't even 5 feet away. Or, okay, maybe a couple feet, but I wasn't that far. We can go get our Mori now. Let's find you. Let's get your friend. Alright, this isn't going to be the best place to do it, but we're going to do it anyways. Here we are. Yes. Damn grass. Stab. Into the grass again. Okay, that part looks a little cool though. Alright, and can we find your friend? Running around. Where we're streaming. Anybody? Oh, escape through hatch. Well, that's the game. Hope you guys enjoyed my rant. Been Mega Dex.